One question I get from a lot of Windows users is how do I change the system settings in Windows 10? If you're particularly coming over from Windows 7, you're used to control panels, and control panels don't exist in the same way in Windows 10 that they did in Windows 7. Now, many of them are still there and can be used, but for some things you have to use the internal Windows 10 controls. Now, Windows 10 in the Start menu adds an option for a little gear right here, and that little gear is the Settings tab. So if I go into there, these are the settings for Windows 10, the typical way that you would make changes, replacing most things that are in the control panel. One nice thing about the Windows settings in Windows 10 is you have the ability to be able to go through and search for something that you're looking for. So if I was looking for the Bluetooth settings, I can start typing Bluetooth and you'll see that it finds Bluetooth and other devices as an option and takes me directly there. Now, most of the settings in Windows 10 look kind of similar to this. They have a sidebar over here, and this is actually in the Devices panel. The sidebar has Bluetooth devices in addition to printers, scanners, mouse, that kind of stuff. To add a device, like if I wanted to add a printer, I could go to Printers and I could hit the little plus button there and it would add or search for a new printer, download and install the driver, and make the printer active for me. So from the main panel in the Windows settings, you can do literally most of the things you're going to want to do. Some of those things would be to go to Update and Security and to check Windows Update here. Another might be to check your security, and this is the Windows Security tab. If you're using Windows built-in security, this is where you would go make access to it. You can see all the check marks are green on this, so I am secure. I can open up the Windows Security panel directly from there, and I can see the individual details about my settings related to security. What a lot of people don't really realize, though, is in Windows 10, I also still have the ability to do many things the old way from control panels. So if I close the Settings tab and come down here to the search bar, I can type Control Panels. And you'll see it finds the Control Panels app. I can select that and bring it up. Now, when it comes up by default, it's going to come up looking like this by category. I typically like to see it in the old style Windows 7, which is by large icons, and that brings up all the settings that I'm normally used to seeing in Windows 7, or at least the majority of them. Now from here I can do things that I can also do in the Windows 10 settings, like I can go to Devices and Printers, and it looks the old style way that Devices and Printers looks, and gives me the ability to use those tools that I learned in Windows 7 over here in Windows 10. I also have the ability to go to Programs and Features, where I can uninstall programs and tools directly there rather than going through the Windows 10 menu. What I typically like to do when I get the Control Panels panel up for the first time on a new machine, if you come up here to the bar where it shows you that we're in Control Panel, All Control Panel Items, if I grab the icon here and drag it down to my desktop, I can create a link to those control panels so that directly from the desktop I can bring those control panels back up and I have access to them just like I would have had in Windows 7.